Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Now this is another team killing video. We've got a treble of players here. We've got Microdrive, Slimes and Mummy of Philo all in a platoon, and one of them, Mummy, is about to be team killed by the Arty. Well, not immediately, but he's going to be team killed because of what happens in chat. So pay attention to what's in chat. Right, the game started. It's an M4A3E2 the Super Jumbo that Mummy's in with a 105mm gun. And the M40, M43 speaking up saying they've lost this game. And he says, well done to the team. Now the reason he's saying that is because he thinks everyone's doing a lemming trade off to one side of the map, leaving the west side of the map completely undefended. He says lost due to lemmings, and Mummy says STFU M40. Well, I think he's just saying be quiet because, and then the M40 says it's a fact, and then says a rude word. See map, he says. Well, I don't think so, and I'm going to follow this battle in third person so you can see exactly what's going on. Well, Mummy's got to the hill, and there's some enemy up here, and they're getting shots on the enemy who are already here, and they've already occupied the top part of the hill. It's an AMX 12 ton and an AMX 1357. Mummy's got the 105mm gun, which is capable of 410 alpha if it penetrates, but even if it doesn't penetrate, it can do a lot of damage, and he's just done 365 hit points of damage to that AMX 12 ton, so I suspect he did pen him. And now he's killed him. So he's got a kill. He's trying to get shots on that ARL P39, while Slimes and Microdrive are going to try and deal with those two tanks up at the top of the hill. Wizzy 131, who's rapidly departing the hill down the side, and an AMX 1357. And I think Mummy's going to try and get shots on him. He does, and he kills him. So he's got 2 kills. Now, they've captured the hill, basically. There's only that ARL, and he's now been killed. He was taken out by Slimes. There's a T25-2, and I believe there's another enemy over there as well. Yep, there's the 25-2. Oh, there's a strip there as well. He just took a round from the strip, but he fires a round back and gets some damage on the strip. He did lose a fair bit of hit points. He lost 395 from the strip, so he's abandoning that corner, but the strip is actually abandoning his firing position as well. And I think what they've noticed that there's no real force on this side of the map, so the enemy must be over on the west side of the map, which is what the M40 was actually indicating. The M40 is relocated to the east side of the map. He's in grid square B0, and we can see that Mummy's firing rounds in at the enemy who's over on that far side. Microdrive is already headed off that way, and a few of the other tanks are also going. Mummy's going to go down this cliff side. Oh, slides down carefully. Yep, good job on that. Most people slide down the wrong way and they lose hit points in the process. But he didn't do that in this case. But he's only got 208 hit points left. Okay, there's a KB85 over there and a Panther 2. He gets a nice hit on the Panther, on the KB. KB85 is taken out, funnily enough, by our Arty, vonerp. But the next target is not going to be the enemy, it's going to be Mummy. So you can see here, Mummy's moving over to engage the enemy, take on that Panther 2. And he's got damage on the Panther 2. And there he's been team killed by the M40. There was absolutely no reason for that. The enemy was nowhere near. It was over there. So this is not a near miss by by vonerp. It's a deliberate team kill because of what went on in chat. So it's totally uncalled for. Now Slimes saw that. In fact, actually they were in TeamSpeak at the time, and Slimes is headed off towards the enemy, vonerp, whilst Microdrive heads south to try and finish off the rest of the enemy team. They've only got 2 tanks left now, and their steering wheel's about to die, and there's only one after that. It's the GW Panther on their team. So they're now looking for the last enemy, Arty. Meanwhile, Slimes has encountered the M40. And I think he's very upset with the M40. And he's fired a round into him, which really he shouldn't have done, but that's going to cost him credits. And now the M40's team killed him too. And yes, again, there was no need for that. Yes, Slimes did do damage to him, but if he actually had fired his next shot, he would have been banned from the game anyway. So I don't think that Slimes was about to fire again. So they've just got to find the last Arty, and I think the last Arty must have moved north with the heavy tanks. And that's it, game's over, they've won. But there was absolutely no need for the M40 to team kill do that team kill on Mummy during that game. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. Well, we can see that Mummy got a very high win 8 for that game, 2-4-2-4, which is much higher than some of the other tanks. And you can see here on damage, he actually did 917 hit points of damage. And the Arty that team killed him, he got 864 hit points of damage. But when it came to base XP, you can see they both got 2 kills. When it came to base XP, you can see that the M40 is well down. He only got 471 base XP, whereas Mummy did 785, and that's because he's a lower tier player, and the M4 being a tier 6 tank, whereas he's a tier 8 Arty, so obviously he was earning less XP each shot. Well, look at his figures just for starters. He only fired 6 shots, but 2 of those shots were actually damaging his own teammates and team killing them. And he did destroy 2 of his own team for 320 hit points in total, which was against his score. So obviously he's lost some credits because of that, and of course he gained some credits from Slimes firing a shot into him, which probably wasn't a very good idea overall. Slimes did actually end up with 1,147 XP. He did get a higher win 8 than Mummy at 2,558. But again, probably not a good idea to shoot into the M40, because all it did was give the M40 more credits. Didn't take him out the game at all. But yeah, totally uncalled for team kill, purely because of what went on in chat. And so people should be made aware that this player vonerp is a team killer, and he did it twice in that game. Admittedly, probably the second time he was provoked, but still all the same, he didn't turn blue. He should have turned blue for doing 2 team kills, but he got away with it. So thankfully these will be changed in update 1.4, because it will be impossible to do team damage without because the new system will be mirroring that of Frontline, which means team damage is no longer possible. But of course stun will still be possible for Arty against other tanks, because they won't be taking that part of the mechanic away. And so if this sort of thing happens in the future, all you'll be doing is wasting a shell if you fire it at anyone to try and team kill them, and it's going to cost you credits to do it. But it just goes to show that Arty do sometimes team kill other tanks for absolutely no reason whatsoever, or because they felt offended in chat, which is really silly, really daft indeed. Well, anyway, there you go. It does happen. Thanks for watching.